China's foreign ministry says the U.S. seizure of foreign vessels violates international law, according to Reuters. At a press briefing, spokesperson Lin Jian said the U.S. practice of arbitrarily seizing other countries' vessels violates international law, Reuters reported. It's a notable escalation in rhetoric, with Beijing framing the seizure as a legal issue rather than simply a policy disagreement. Beijing is challenging the legal basis of the U.S. move, while the White House says the tanker carried sanctioned oil. Lin also said China opposes unilateral sanctions it sees as lacking UN Security Council authorization, according to reports of the briefing. Some governments and critics argue U.S. sanctions have cross-border effects that impact third parties not subject to U.S. jurisdiction. Many countries, particularly in the global south, have expressed similar concerns about the extraterritorial reach of U.S. sanctions. The disagreement over sanctions reflects a fundamental divide over how international order should function. China and other countries argue that without Security Council backing, such measures lack legitimacy under international law. They view unilateral sanctions as a form of economic coercion. The confrontation highlights a broader question: who gets to set the rules of international trade and navigation? By framing the seizure as a violation of international law, Beijing is elevating this from a bilateral dispute to a question of global governance. China is positioning itself as a defender of international law and the rules-based order, a framing that challenges U.S. claims to the same position. China is not simply expressing disagreement with U.S. policy. It is accusing the United States of breaking the law. Whether this framing gains traction internationally remains to be seen, but it signals that China views this issue as significant enough to warrant a public confrontation.